Hello, welcome back to my channel. A few of you guys have asked that I talk a bit more about what I studied at university and the type of work I do. So I studied information design at the University of Pretoria in South Africa, and I currently work as a UI UX designer. So I'll get into what I do maybe in another video, but currently I just want to show you guys some of my university portfolios. I have a whole pile here, and I'll go through them. My course was 4 years long, so the first year we did more basic design principles and focused a lot on drawing and perspective and figure drawing as well. And we had two main subjects. The one was illustration and the other one was information design. And then on top of that we had visual culture studies. Anyways, let's start with my portfolios. Okay, so let's start with first year. Portfolios are here on the table. I hope you guys don't laugh at me or the quality of my work, because really this was fresh out of high school. So stick around or just click through to the middle or end of the video if you want to see the nice stuff in third and fourth year. Okay, I actually haven't opened this in years, so who knows what we'll find here. Perspective. Oh my goodness, this was tricky. So learning about, well, perspective and mapping things, let's skip through that. We had to, one of these projects was to take a word in a different language and visually represent it. I think this is Indonesian or Malaysian, like to crash. This is to crash. Yes, my first packaging project. So like I said, fresh out of high school. Rooibos is a South African tea and cha is tea in Chinese. So I made a Rooibos tea. Yeah, I'm kind of cringing at Afro-Asian bubble tea right now, but let's swiftly move on, shall we? Here was a typography poster. We had to take a font, and I think I failed this project and I had to redo it. I'll get to the redone poster right now. So yeah, this one didn't get really good marks. First year was pretty hard for me. I actually thought about giving up, to be quite honest. So here's some of the best work from first and second year, or the most interesting work. We had to work with types of colors. Wow. Our first year was very kind of like on hands and tactile. I don't think we did any computer work. Also learned about watercolor. So this is a painting I think I did in second year. I think I called it rock, paper, scissors, actually. Here is a comic I did about growing up in Pakistan and my memories. And it continues here. Okay, I don't actually remember the brief of this project, but it was watercolor. So this is from that, was it a Wes Anderson movie? I don't even remember the movie right now. Yes, here's the redone typographic poster. So hopefully this one was a bit tidier and everything was done by hand. Here's another thing done by gouache. So we had to take a sentence that they gave us and then take photographs of words we find. So like I had these blocks, and this is from those muscle gain things. That was my keyboard in Korean. And then we made a collage, and then we painted the collage by hand. And then over here we've got self-portraits. We had to do a lot of self-portraits, like really quick. I look like a monkey here. Let's skip over that. Really quick pen and ink stuff in class, you know, sitting by mirrors and just learning how to draw. And they really taught us how to draw ugly, like to really look at shadows and creases and stuff. Like it's so easy to draw and make yourself look really pretty like this and that, which is not really an accurate representation. Like you need to be looking at light and shadow. That's my grandpa. And we also did film photography. So this is, if you've ever been to Omotesando or Harajuku in Tokyo, you'll recognize the Omohara building. So this is a film photograph I took in Japan, and then exposed it myself. Right, that's first year. Let's see what we have for second year. So from second year, we could start branding our work. You can see I made a logo here with some characters from my Chinese name, and that's the Hangul L, and there's like an English L. Anyway, okay, ILL is the illustration module. So let's look at the projects I did for illustrate. Oh my goodness, who is this? Is that Isungi? Would you look at that? Guys, this is so embarrassing. Okay, so this was with Copic markers. We had to draw a portrait and a machine. So this is a vacuum cleaner and a car with markers. Not my favorite project in the world. Here was like learning how to do imaging on Photoshop and with collages and working with mixed media, etc., etc. So that's it for the illustration. Then IOW is information design, which was a lot more fun for me. Here we worked with typography and letters to, you know, get emotive imagery. What is that? Okay, more typography. So all of this was done by hand. This is my favorite one, obviously, and we had to just take a word and visually represent it. So obviously these have a lot of diacritics because linguophilia, script. Oh, here we go. Scriptophobia, fear of public writing. So like the person starts writing and then they get scared. Oh my word, I remember this. This was the worst ever. So ergophilia means the love of work, and my lecturer was like, well, why don't you really show your love of work and not just do one, but like a billion? So these are all done by hand because I love working, evidently. Okay, this was fun. This was a branding project. So I made a little guest house, temporarily permanent, called Frukr, so F-R-U-K-R, which stands for French Ukrainian. Based it on, I think his name is, what is his name? French Ukrainian designer? Cassandre, A.M. Cassandre. So we had to base a branding project on an artist or a designer. So I took A.M. Cassandre and I made like a guest house called Frukr. This is their little letterhead, business cards, and these would be cut out. Yes. Don't judge me about this. This is a really long story behind it about racism and stereotypes. Here is some of the process work for the typography project. So lots and lots of sketching and retrying things. Lots of sketches. This is what kept me up late at night. So everything here is rough work. So this was important for the lecturers to see our thinking and our concepts. And we had to do our first infograph. So we had to interview our classmates about stuff, and I kind of interviewed people about the sentimentality of items they have versus the country it comes from. I had to make my own font. Here's my typeface. I based it off of like mirrors and kaleidoscopes. This is a magazine cover. I did it on typography and scripts, like different languages. So this is obviously the Asian typography issue. Yeah, I know I spelt that wrong. This was 2014 before I could speak anything. And then I did a little article for the magazine as well. We could just use dummy text, but obviously I was too excited and I actually wrote the entire article. That is it for second year. Let's move on to third year. So this is how I branded my portfolio in third year. First was an event campaign that we did as a group project between two people for a South African music festival. And we had to do all the other collateral as well. So the stage banners, the t-shirts, the logos, we had to make a GIF, the invitations, which could fold out like that. How would you brand it in a public space? Excellent Photoshop skills, not. What would the Facebook page look like? some stickers. This was a book project I did about blind people. So I did research in Japan, Korea, and South Africa about facilities and stuff for the blind. So this is a museum for the blind, like a touch museum. And we had to show like what the margins are, how big the headings are, what typefaces we're using. Oh yeah, here's the book. Yeah. Next project is a mobile project. Oh, we had to design an app. I actually have the video of the app on my channel. If you like really search hard, you'll find it, so I'm not going to talk about this too much. Then web design, our very first web design project, we had to make a portfolio. Yeah, I did this on, what was this? Was this Dreamweaver, I think? Wayfinding, that was pretty fun. So we designed signs for Veskopis, which is a mental institute in South Africa. So we took photos on site and then we proposed like new signs for them. And my partner and I, who worked on this project with me, we got a prize for this, but I don't actually think they ever implemented this. More wayfinding. How would the signs look? How would the map look? So here's the website again. For the end of the year, we had to redo that website we did at the middle of the project. And we actually had to have this portfolio in addition to a website that we coded and designed ourselves showing our work as well. Okay, that's it for third year. Finally, fourth year coming up. I did photography and illustration in blue and information design in pink. We were allowed to include third year work in here as well. So here's actually a third year character design. We had to base it on somebody who has a phobia and then just show like what this character is like in their daily life. Like we had to do posters for our library. So it was World Book and Copyright Day. And this was one of the posters I did. And then two others like World Book and Copyright Day. And then I took photos of books and I made a little typeface from books like lost in the library, what would you do? And we had to do an editorial design. So this is a little poem I wrote in 3 languages about myself and my life. And then I made a digital collage of items that were very sentimental to me at that time. Oh, and here's the inside. So that was like the magazine cover, and this is the inside. This means like, where do we go from here? And then I wrote in Korean, Afrikaans, and Japanese. This is a cyanotype. It's a different type of photograph. This is a stadium. What's this? Architectural detail. These are all film photographs that we had to develop ourselves in the darkroom. Then fashion photography. This is a friend of mine wearing my clothes. And more fashion photography, another friend of mine. And light painting. Oh, this was boring. It's a spoon. My hand is hurting. This camera is really heavy. Okie dokes. Okay. Oh look, I made a font out of rice. I don't know why we did this actually. Oh, it's not actually part of the portfolio. That is why I'm wondering why we, oh, this thing, okay. Okay, this is an infograph I did. It actually built, this was up on the wall. So we had a little exhibition space with the portfolios and stuff we could put on the wall. So this is an infograph I did about the 4 Nobel Peace Prize winners in South Africa. So those are their names, the dates they got the prizes, and then I analyzed their speeches and looked at how many times collectively they used these words, how long and short were their introductions, what's the average number of words in an introduction, how long were their speeches, what are their ages, and what did they talk about, what were the themes. I also made postcards for peace and stamps. So these are the Nobel Peace Prize winners, and I got these stamps printed, and first day cover. If you are into stamp collecting, you'll know what that is. And here's just the sort of the thinking, the background around the infograph. Oh, and I made a book about it. I don't know where that book is now, but that's what the book looked like, where I put the unabridged speeches in as well. And this just shows how I went about working on the grids in the book, what my typeface hierarchy was. Okay, let's look at branding, corporate identity. This was for a technology company, so that's their promotional poster, and these are the elements. So the logo design, the iconography and elements, color usage, and typography. And then the stationery, we had to design folders for them and brochures. Ooh, this was branding we had to do for Mini, an advertising campaign. This was tough. This was not my favorite project ever. I did an interactive poster where you could scan a QR code and listen to the sounds of the city. Super cheesy. A print ad. My theme was all about experiencing the city with the top down of the car and the mini-tropolis. So I actually took this photo in Tokyo and put the car on top of it. I did stickers, so basically the whole advertising campaign was Mini, the car, should help you explore your city. So these were cool places, and you'd have a sticker and a QR code, and Google Maps would be integrated with this, and you could take an alternative route to see something cool in your city. Very cheesy. And they'd give you these little scratch cards, if you're filling up on gas, a secret invitation to a rooftop party, which is here. This is all fake, by the way. And there would be a live broadcast on Periscope, and they'd put it on big screens and show how cool Mini is and how fun it is to party with Mini. I hated this project, I'm not gonna lie. Here's more third year work. This was one of my favorite projects ever. Packaging. I did it for barley and corn tea. And I called it susu because oksusu means corn in Korean. And that's the Chinese character for tea over there. So I designed this little cardboard slip that goes around the bottles. Oh, and these are 3D renderings. This isn't real, so obviously you can see that kind of defies gravity there. The water, yeah. Anyway, yeah. The tops showed you if it was corn or barley. This is another animation I did. I think this is on my channel as well, so I won't go through that. Oh, this was my favorite project ever. Anybody who's into Vaporwave, hello. So we had to do an infograph, and I did mine about Vaporwave as hyper reality. So it hopefully looks kind of vaporwavy, which is why it must be really ugly. And I was like, stage 1 is reality. Stage 2 is the internet. And this is all about escapism and vaporwave, and what are the topics of vaporwave, and how does this relate to the thoughts of Baudrillard and Eco, and what is vaporwave actually, and then a timeline of vaporwave. And then at the end it's this poster was made, long live vaporwave. Yeah, this took me quite a long time to make, but it was super fun because I could intentionally make things ugly under the name of vaporwave. Okay, I'm done! Oh, I'm so tired. That was a lot tougher to film than I had originally anticipated because these things are so heavy. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of my work, I'll put my portfolio link in the description box. Bye! See you guys next time!